limitations. Heck with limitations. Look at that. There we are. Put the altar in there.
Hi everybody, whoever's there, if anybody's there. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I'm just going to grab that thing from up there. Say hi to them.
I'm going to.
Now.
Hi. Hello. I don't know who's here. I was going to log in to see if anybody's there. No comments yet. Okay. Well, if anybody's out there, give us a shout and let us know. Because we're going to start. David's just gone out to get the incense, which is camphor, or what did you find?
I found some mastic.
Mastic.
One of them.
Which is
for the High Priestess specifically.
For the High Priestess specifically. And that's the path that we will be traversing tonight, is the path of the High Priestess. So, yeah, enjoy.
Okay. You know, I wonder I could just turn the camera so you can be, because right now we'll only be hearing you.
That's fine.
We'll be seeing you.
I know, but don't you want to?
This is just the chat part.
Oh, it's just the
chat talk part, the instruction part.
All right.
So, I'm sure you have something to contribute.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Fussing.
I'll just be the sort of nebulous
the
voice.
Secret chief, yes.
The voice behind the... Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
The voice.
The voice.
I will be the voice.
Hi.
Hi.
One of our favorite things to paths and cards, the High Priestess today.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yes.
Path number 13, the Path of Gimel, the Hebrew letter Gimel.
Right.
Which
is the path that goes from Kether.
From the tippy top.
To Tiferet.
And I'll show you on the tree there.
Okay, so from the tippy top.
Tippy top.
From the crown to
the heart chakra. Heart Tiferet. And that's blue. And that's the blue path. Mm-hmm. Zoom. Top part of the middle pillar.
Yes.
So we'll leave that out because there's something else to refer to that.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I can get this little image of the actual Hebrew letter Gimel.
Which means?
Camel.
Camel.
There it is.
Even sounds a bit like camel.
Gimel camel.
The Gimel camel.
A couple other symbols for the path there. The camel and the moon.
Mm-hmm.
The High Priestess is the second key. Second tarot card, in other words. Path color blue. Sound,
yes.
G sharp.
G sharp.
Well,
wait for
we
it.
have the technology.
We do. Hold on. Here we go.
That's G sharp. Thank you, Dallas.
You're welcome.
Wonder if we won't even do that when we're going into meditation.
Oh, I don't know.
No, maybe not. Just try to remember that. Camel. Double letter. So that means the letter has two meanings. Peace and war. Esoteric title. The Princess of the Silver Star.
The mythological figures being, in this book, Diana and Isis.
Diana and Isis.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well go right into what I was just reviewing here. where, of course, there are some old medieval decks, and the Marseille deck, for example, and other decks that are designed off of them that call this card not the High Priestess, but the Popess, or the female Pope.
Ah, Popess.
Popess. And this represents Pope Joan, described by Stéphane de Bourbon in his 13th century work. As the story goes, a 9th century English girl fell in love with a monk. In order that they could live together, she dressed herself as a man. After the monk's death, she went to Rome, retaining her male persona, and became a priest. Supposedly, she moved up through the ranks of the church, became a cardinal, and was finally elected Pope John VIII. The legend goes she died on the steps of St. Peter's, giving birth.
Oh.
Oops. So, I mean, that's after her husband, and she was a widow too. So, heavens, she had an interesting life.
Immaculate conception.
Well, not necessarily. Mythical story, yes, but was widely believed during when tarot cards were becoming popular. Also, I was just looking at that now. Where'd it go? There it is. The path of the High Priestess, associated with the moon, and deities are also associated with her as with the moon as Diana, Artemis, and Hecate. Hecate, originally described by Hesiod, was the original Greek triple goddess ruling heaven and earth. In later times, she was known as Hecate Selene and associated with the moon still, meaning the far-shooting moon, an aspect of Artemis. Artemis was the sister of Apollo and daughter of Zeus, a bringer of light and the eternal virgin. We find that the High Priestess is called the Princess of the Silver Star, and Artemis was known as the Maiden of the Silver Bow. So a link there. This suggests temperance, the lower extension of the High Priestess, which is associated with Sagittarius and the Archer, which is why I left this handy. Because if you go from Tiferet, cross the abyss, the High Priestess crosses the abyss into Tiferet, the heart chakra, and then the next path down here is also blue, a type of blue, and that is temperance. So we see that this association of the Archer with temperance links also with Artemis, which links us to the High Priestess. So High Priestess, temperance there. Of course, there's this consistently we see in many of the tarot designs the pillars, which I want to talk about, the black and white pillar, because the High Priestess is seen as the unifier. And okay. Let me just kind of review. I want to read this part. So, the Princess of the Silver Star, Gimel, meaning for the word letter, when the letter Gimel is spelled out, it is also the word for camel. The moon. The 32 Paths of Wisdom says, the 13th path is named the Uniting Intelligence, and it is so called because it is itself the essence of glory. It is the consummation of the truth of individual spiritual things. The path of Gimel, temperance, and Tao, the universe, may be considered the aspects of the same energy which together make up the devotional middle pillar. And of course, part of our path working meditation is always to first do the middle pillar. All these three paths relate to the moon. Gareth Knight describes the path of Tav at the bottom as the gateway to the inner planes. Those of Samak and Gimel, or temperance, and the High Priestess as dark nights of the soul. This was termed the dark night with an N, not a K. It was coined by the 6th century monk St. John of the Cross. Means the desolation and terror that is felt as one is in the middle of the path towards truth, but has not reached the end. Which seems like an odd description. I think it would be more aptly described as when the beginner on a spiritual path finds they have to kind of not be living in the ego, and they have to cast off their cultural and societal kind of labels. So, and persona as the dark night of the soul. There's an implication of the from the word camel, as it is a beast that carries us on the path that is the longest and most important on the tree of life. It is between God the Father in Kether and God the Son in Tiferet, and hence the association with, in Christianity, with the High Priestess as associated with the Virgin Mary, the young Virgin Mary, the pre-pregnant Virgin Mary. I think there's also, which I'm not even going to sift through here for, but I think we can also associate the idea of the Oracle of Delphi, which was also, there was always a priestess who was chosen to interpret, to actually be the channel for the oracle. And that this is also associated with the High Priestess. Pure essence of consciousness, symbolized in the tarot as the very source of all water. So, which brings me to show the tarot cards.
Yes.
Because the Rider-Waite, or RWS as it's called these days, the High Priestess, and what we see is this idea of her blue gown, blue robes or dress coming down, the moon prominent here in the folds of the dress. And what it appears, it actually seems to turn into water, which shows like some flow to it at the bottom of the card. And the next card, which I don't have out in this deck to show you, of course, number 3, though, is the Empress card. Both depictions of the goddess in different stages. Now, the High Priestess card is seen as the, if you have the maiden form of the moon. So you have the maiden, the mother, and the crone as the triple goddess. However, not only is the High Priestess seen as, on one regard, as the maiden, In another sense, she is all three as well. And that is depicted in her crown. But then also, where was I? That the image in the next card, the Empress, shows this sort of waters coming from her gown here into the background of a waterfall and a flowing river in the High Priestess. And if you want to follow along with your own Rider-Waite deck, that river continues in the background of the otherwise desert-like scene behind the Emperor. So what is alluded to here is that the High Priestess is the source of the water flowing through these other cards, and in fact through the entire major trumps, in the major arcana in the deck. And of course, water is a lot to do with emotion and human consciousness. Another thing prominent here is the pillars. You gotta find something to say about that.
About the pillars?
Yes.
I think I had something. Just let me look here. In the background, a dark. Okay, this one says a dark tree and a white tree symbolize the two pillars on her either side. So, that's all it says about the pillars. But they are the pillars from the Tree of Life.
Yes.
They are the help me, my
the left and the right hand pillar, the feminine and masculine pillar.
Yes.
The it's not what I was looking for. Oh, geez, I was ready.
Carry on.
I was ready.
Yeah, carry on. Maybe I'll come to you with.
No, and it's a specific passage here.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for, so.
The pillar of severity and the pillar of mercy.
Thank you. Anything left? Anything else there?
The pillar of form and the pillar of force, and she's the High Priestess, which stands between them. What do I have in here? The 13th path serves as a channel for that which is Kether to come to us through Tifereth, as the light from Kether cannot be seen by our eyes. It travels down this path to Tifereth, the sphere of the sun, and even that light is too much for humans, so it continues down the tree to Yesod, the sphere of the moon, and that we can look upon. So she is showing the priestess is the priestess of the silver star, the star Sothis, which is the sun behind our sun. So you're traveling through our sun and into passing through a spiritual fire to get to the Sothis.
Still not what I was looking for, but we're just gonna skip it then.
Skip it, and it will come to
the
you.
Path, the French words, the Joachim and the other one, and unfortunately, she is seen as the source of the four rivers of paradise: the Pison, the Guinon, the Hindikel, and the Frath. River of fire, river of water, river of air, and river of earth. There are 5 paths that cross the abyss. And I hung it up again. Dang it.
Shall I get it?
No, I just want this.
Oh, okay.
So the abyss between the 3 supernals and the rest of the tree. So the supernals, the unity, Kether, Chokma and Binah, masculine and feminine archetypes, and then everything below that is the abyss. So crossing the abyss, we have of course, we've already done the Fool and the Magician on the top, but they're all both above the abyss. Now, in the third tarot card, number 2, we are at the High Priestess crossing the abyss. The other ones are the Hierophant, the Emperor, the Lovers, and the Chariot. And the High Priestess are the 5 paths that cross the abyss. The Hierophant is associated with earth. The Lovers is associated with air. The Chariot is associated with water. The Emperor is associated with fire, which leaves for the High Priestess, she is associated with spirit. So we have these 5 paths associated with the 5 elements, or the 4 elements plus spirit, as they descend across the abyss. Another famous one is the Crowley Thoth deck there. The High Priestess. And it does show the camel in there. It shows the bow of Artemis is prominent. The lunar kind of shape atop her head as well. And the triple goddess crown. On a throne. Crystals, plants, fruits in the foreground. But what is really interesting here is it's maybe a little hard to discern, but if you've seen this card before, it's as though she's holding up this web work or this net.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the idea of the matrix, the web of that manifestation kind of adheres to.
Right.
So she is involved in manifestation, but on a very high level, pre-materiality, pre-physical, pre 3 dimensions on this higher level.
Sort of the matrix on which other things are built.
Thank you. Yes. And she is in control of that. Here's one we have from the Tarot of the Old Path, which is just kind of cute. But more emphasizing her kind of being kind of in nature here. And there's a black cat, a bunch of animals. There's a serpent, the moon, dark and light, crescents, connoting the black and the white again as the pillars, and the how she brings unity. Here almost depicted as Persephone.
Mm.
This one's neat.
Oh, this is cute. The unicorn in the background.
Here's a girl. She's got initiatory Golden Dawn deck. It's a female figure in the infinity lemon skate symbol, but it's a little hard to discern from this image, but she's got her hands like this around a chalice, that this chalice is floating in the air for her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so she's doing magic.
She has a veil, a very light veil.
A light veil over her face.
Yeah, flying around her. Yeah.
There's a more traditional image here. I don't know the name of that one though, Dallas.
That's the Fenestra deck.
Fenestra.
And
Again,
that one.
Again, the veil behind her, as in the
sort of the spirograph.
Yeah.
Looking.
As in here, we also have a veil behind her. And then my lots of fun Spirit Halloween deck shows the High Priestess as a tarot card reader called the Fortune Teller. Mm-hmm. Ooh, she is at the witching hour here too. So with and a crystal ball.
Yeah, lots going on.
Lots going on there. Pearls. So I'll
which
put
is
those
one
back
of the
on the
stones
altar.
for.
Yeah, one of the. We have some stones on the altar. Alice has gotten some pearls, which is associated with the High Priestess, and of course moonstones. And we're just gonna no, I think I'll wait till I got. Just follow through. Associated scents, smells with the High Priestess are gum mastic and camphor. Kind of what Crowley described as sweet smells. That's interesting. So I got the window open for a little bit here because that's a tiny bit of incense that's going to town.
Holy smokes! And that's mastic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we're going to begin to start our tempo.
Okay. I see Liam is there. Hi, Liam.
And of course, we have Isis is frequently on our altar and is prominent tonight. Well, that was it for the master. Okay. Well, that'll linger enough.
Close window so we don't.
Yeah, nosy neighbors deciding it's perfect time to cut their lawn for the third time in a week. Yes. So I guess we're ready.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do
Air and water.
East and west.
East and west.
South and north.
That sounds great. Oh, yeah, I can smell that.
Should I open the window a bit more? Or is that
Just a teeny
right?
bit. Because it's very heady.
Thick.
Thick.
Maybe.
Yeah. So.
Here we go. Whoa!
Open that for just a moment so
Get a
we
little
get
air.
quick cross breeze. Sorry folks, but we're getting smoked out here. Some of that incense on the
I
charcoal.
closed the door because there's a potentially noisy cat in the box out front.
We don't always keep him in the box.
He's chosen to be in the box.
He's chosen to be in the box.
But of course that means he'll start meowing his head off as soon as we start meditating.
Yeah.
On cue.
Okay. You can close that if you want then.
Okay.
Close that one there if you want. It's kind of like burning sawdust.
You think?
Is the
nicer
smell.
than that.
That's the underlying. It's very woody. Maybe it's the type of incense.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right, here we go. So we begin our temple, of course, with the Rose Cross sphere of light. And
yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I need this at the altar before I start, so I can read that out at the appropriate time.
And you have the hexagram?
I do, right here.
Oh, brilliant.
So I'm ready. I'm
All
actually
right.
ready.
He's ready, folks. Okay.
Te Malkuth, Vega Bora, Vega Dula, Leolam. Amen. Hekis, Esta Babyloi. Okay. Yaheshua. 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 Yeshua, 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 Yod He Shin Vov He. Ayin Arai Yod Nun Resh Yod, sign of Osiris slain. El, the sign of the morning of Isis. V, the sign of Typhoon Apophis. X, the sign of Osiris risen. L, V, X, Lux, light, light of the cross. Virgo, Isis, mighty mother. Scorpio, Apophis, destroyer. Sol, Osiris, slain yet risen. Isis, Apophis, Osiris. Exalpeo Koemananta Biteoem. May the divine light descend. May the divine light descend. Ate Malkuth Vegabora Vegadula Leal Amen. So be it. So up for air.
Okie dokie. EXR. Wait. EXR pay. Hey. Oro iba zod pi. Yehovah. Hail Raphael, Archangel of air and the east.
To the south. Oiptia Pedoke Elohim. Hail Michael, Archangel of fire in the south.
Okoma Agala Empe Arsal Geol Al. Hail Gabriel, Archangel of the west and water.
Enna entagla. Imordial hectega. Adonai. Hail Uriel, Archangel of earth, the north. Before me, Raphael, behind me, Gabriel, to the right hand, Michael, and to the left hand, Uriel. About us, flames the pentagrams, And in the column shines the six-rayed star, Ate Malkuth Vegabora Vegadula Leola Am. Amen. As above, so below. This evening, we are pathworking the Path of Gimel, the High Priestess. Its color, blue. The second tarot major arcana. Third, but labeled number 2. Sound, G sharp. Planet, moon. Meaning of the word can be camel. Double letter for peace or war, and war. The princess, title, The Princess of the Silver Star. The 13th path is named the Uniting Intelligence, and it is so called because it is itself the essence of glory. It is the consummation of the truth of individual spiritual things. To this end, I will follow my own directions and invoke the energies of the moon. And because of the moon's association with water, it should be working fine. It says
okay.
live.
Good. Yep.
I'm going to do this to the west. Alarita Shaddai El Chai Gabriel Kerubim Aleph Levana, the moon. The moon. Cool. So begin by sitting comfortably. Breathing deeply with the dive. Deeply. Excuse me. Try to begin by establishing your own 4-square breath. Breathing in if we're not too stuffy due to allergies. If the nose, but if it's the mouth, it doesn't matter. Breathing in deeply to your own count of 4. Pause for a count of 4. Exhale patiently for another count of 4. Pause for a count of 4. So let's try to do this while we relax the body. Don't have arms or legs crossed. You can be lying down flat or in a lotus position if you're able, if you like. A slow, patient 4 square breath will allow you to breathe very deeply and express the air fully without hyperventilating. I'm going to begin by imagining an orb of white, pure source energy light atop the head. So imagine an orb of white light on the top of the head. Its God name is Ahei. Imagine the light energy coming down through the top of the head into the head to form a lavender orb of light in the throat area. Its name is Yova Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim. Imagine the light energy descending from the throat sphere to a golden yellow sphere of light behind the solar plexus in the torso. His name is Yova Ilovadath. Yova Ilovadath.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Ilovadath.
Yahovah Elo Adam.
From there, imagine the light descending to form a purple orb of light in the groin area, light of life. His name is Shaddai El Chai. Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El Chai.
Imagine the light descending through the body to the feet, where it forms a russet orb of light, the light of form. His name is Adonai Haaretz. Adonai Haaretz.
Adonai Haaretz.
Bring the attention back to the light atop the head. On an exhale, imagine light energy moving down through the left side of the body to the feet. And on the inhale, imagine the light energy being drawn up through the right to the top of the head. On an exhale, imagine the light energy coming down over and through the front of the body to the feet. And on the inhale, imagine light energy coming up along the calves, along the legs, along the back of the body to the top of the head. Exhale light energy down over the front. Inhale light energy up along the back. And on an inhale, collect the light energy at the feet. And on the exhale, release the light energy up through the body, up through the middle pillar, through the top of the head. Imagining this light energy flowing like a fountain down, around, and through to be collected again at the feet on the inhale. Imagine yourself in a safe inner place, cognizant that we have invoked the energies of the moon and we call upon the goddess in her aspect of the lunar deity, Isis, Hecate, Artemis, Diana. Conduct us on her path. Bing.
Ding. Ah.
Bing's being bonged. Here. Oh, there it is. Didn't see it. Thank the guardians, the quarters, and do a quick lesser banishing. Uriel. Energies of the south. Gabriel. Energies of the west and the moon. Michael, energies of the fire. The south. Raphael, thank you. Energies of the east and air. May this temple to the Path of Gimel be closed. Go if you must, stay if you will. Blessed be.
Heidi ho.
Hi. A little sage.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
there we go. Hi guys, we're back.
And we're going to close and we'll start again.